Well, hello there. Look who I see. I feel like I should have a mirror up and do romper domper stomper doo. Tell me who I see. Is it you? Or you? Or you? No, it's me. And over here on his bed is Mr. Levi. You can just barely see him. He's over there happily chewing on a rawhide. He's having a good morning. He woke me up early again, which is good for him, not so good for me. But I get to get these videos done earlier so I can get them up to you earlier. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. I want to dive right into a little bit of TEMU talk. Okay? Is that all right? Are you ready? Okay. Just a little bit of TEMU talk. Some of you have asked me about the price adjustment bar. You seem to be pretty well set on the price match because I'm not getting any inquiries about that, but I'm getting a lot of inquiries about the price adjustment that every time they go in to look at their items and they click on request a price adjustment, it gives both bars, but they can't tell if there's a price adjustment there. So really quick, I'm going to put up a picture. This is what you'll see. If the vendor has made a reduction in the item you purchased from them, you'll see the bar highlighted in orange. That means, hey, the price adjustment's been done. Come on in and collect your coins. All right, so that's what you'll see. If you don't see the orange bar lit up for price adjustment, then the vendor hasn't made a price adjustment. They made that really easy for us. I kind of like it that we have to do a little less clicking to find out if we have a price adjustment done. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the second thing I want to clarify is some of you, and I've gotten messages and comments that were rather insistent and almost downright nasty. So I said, you know what? I'm going to address this to the family. Nothing the United States did told any country, not China, not Indonesia, not Philippines. We never told any country that they cannot ship to the United States. That even though the de minimis law was eliminated, and for those of you that aren't familiar, de minimis law basically allowed packages with a value less than $800 to be shipped into the United States duty-free, tax-free. All right, so there was no import taxes on any package that cost less than $800. The United States government eliminated the de minimis law. So every country was still set, the United States said, yeah, sure, you can still ship to us, ship whatever you want, but now you have to pay taxes on it. You have to pay tariffs. So the United States at no time said you cannot direct ship or you cannot ship through a third party or you cannot, period, that you cannot ship into the United States. That was never, ever said. Each country and or each business, like TEMU itself decided that, well, hey, with these import tariffs, we're not going to ship to the United States anymore. We can't cover that cost, and we know our customers aren't going to pay it. There was a big news release out, and it's on international news, that TEMU had dropped down to 50% American business from what they used to have. And now they dropped down to zero. They're calculating that their U.S. sales have plummeted so drastically that we're now not even considered part of their market base. And do your homework. It's all over the news that TEMU and Shein, Shine, whatever, Wish, all these different companies, they're now all looking for alternative markets. They're opening up to the Netherlands and France and other areas that they hadn't been fully open to or open to at all. They're trying to fill the European market, basically, because they can't count on the United States anymore. But this was not by directive of the US. This was choice. Each country, each company made their own choice as to whether they would or would not pay these tariffs. If they won't, then they stop shipping. If they will, then they shipped and they pass the cost on to us, like you saw in the beginning, or you see sometimes, even still now. So hope y'all got that straight. The only thing the U.S. government did was remove the De Minimis Act and apply import tariffs. Shipping is still a choice to every country that chooses to import to the United States. All right? Okay. Don't agree with what the USA did, but that's the facts. That's the facts, man. Nothing but the facts. If you're old enough to know what that came from, put a comment down below. Because I used to love that TV show. And I'll give you a hint. Fred Gwynn, Herman Munster, used to be in that show. And if you don't know who Herman Munster is, Google it and watch at least one episode. It'll crack you up. All right. The last thing on TEMU, guys, and this is kind of sad. I have to say, from my personal experience over the past week and a half since TEMU supposedly was reopening to the United States, TEMU is not back. I don't think TEMU will ever be back to the way it was for those of us in the United States. They're pulling a fast one on us now. Now, at least what I'm seeing, and you can let me know if you're seeing the same thing. What I'm seeing is that when I search, all of a sudden, I don't see the word local showing up on the little mini screenshots. It doesn't show. Till you click on an item and you go into it, and then all of a sudden it'll say, no import taxes. And then you know right off the bat, you've clicked on something that's local. OMG. You can't get around it anymore. You can't reset your algorithms not to show you anything that isn't local because you don't know anymore. They took away that little green box on the majority of the items that I've been searching for. I haven't seen it in days, but yet I'll click on something that I like or something that I think that, that I want to order or I want to look at. And all of a sudden it'll say no import taxes. And then you know it's local. And then you look a little further and you see that it's local shipping. It's an act of frustration for me, guys. And I can imagine that you guys are probably all feeling the same. It's very frustrating because now, for those of us in the United States, TEMU is basically tricking us into clicking on items that come from local warehouse without our knowledge that we're doing it until we actually get into it and we see it. So TEMU was not back. Not for those of us in the United States. I still can't find any kind of clothing or jewelry or kitchen items or yard items or even some electronics. I can't find anything other than little tchotchke stuff, stickers, notepads, pens, little small nonsense kind of stuff is still direct ship. So for me, my personal opinion is that TEMU is not back. And I am not getting my hopes up that it's ever going to be what it was because of the news that's been going around internationally that TEMU was basically lost the U.S. market. I don't even know what they're going to be putting in their local warehouses or if they're even going to continue to do that and or for how long, because seriously, I don't mind paying $2.99 for a larger item, but I am not paying $2.99 for an item that is that same price. Or let's say if it's under $20, I'm not, no. So to me, that's a little bit of sad news. I was really hopeful, as I know a lot of you were, that TEMU would reopen the direct ship market to us. Yes, I'm using my TEMU cup. But let me know. Let me know what your experience is. Are you seeing the same thing as I am? Are you not seeing things? Are you seeing things differently if you're in the United States? If you're in other countries, most of you are not affected by this. And I do have a lot of you guys that view from other countries. And if I look like I'm sitting sideways, it's because I'm kind of leaning up with one arm on the desk. I'm not crooked, honestly. I'm not. Oh, and guys, see this brown thing right there above my head? You see that? that's the bottom. That's a fob. That's the bottom of the pull chain for my ceiling fan. I've gotten some emails and a few people that you were thinking that this was actually attached to my ceiling, but it's not. It's the pull chain, bottom of the pull chain. See if I can get it sitting down here. Can't reach it. Stand up. There we go. Okay, it's the bottom of the pull chain. Thank you for your concern, but I pride myself in keeping my house pest free and nest free and cocoon free. And I love that you guys show your concern for me and you want to point things out for me. It did my heart good. It made me smile when I got comments that people were concerned that I had something coming or growing down from my ceiling. So now it's going to wiggle and it's going to drive me nuts until it stops. No, I'm kidding. It's not going to drive me nuts. All right. Let's get into a little bit of TEMU products. And then, excuse me, I'll take you around the corner so you can see what's been going on since Sunday. I think some of this stuff is going to be jaw-dropping for you that I share for you. But first thing I want to show you was the big box I had. I'll put pictures up, and I'll put them over here on this side. The first thing I put up. Oh, it's early, guys. It's 10 after 6 in the morning, in case you were wondering what time it is. Okay? 10 after 6 when I'm recording this. This is not fit for man nor beast at this hour when you're retired. Okay, so the first picture I'm going to put up, this big box has been sitting on my porch for a couple of weeks, came from TEMU. What's in it, you ask? It's a lounge chair, a beach style lounge chair that I had gotten specifically for the backyard, so that once I have grass grown out there and I can put together my fire pit, I have a nice little lounge chair to sit on if I just want to sit out there and catch a little sun, if I just want to lay out there and like Levi is the sun potato, they like to go out and be a baked potato. Pit bulls love to sun himself. Once that grass is grown, Levi and I can go out. He can lay in the grass. I can sit in my lounge chair, read a book, chat with my friends, text back and forth, catch a little sun myself, right? So this thing was relatively easy to take out of the box. I didn't have to do anything to it. It's fully assembled. So as you can see, when I took it out of the box, it's a nice gray canvas type material. Material's excellent. The stitching on it is absolutely excellent. It's all metal. The frame is all metal. And it's a little longer than your standard beach lounge chair. The center part where your tush goes has a little bit more length to it. But what I like is that you can have the foot up, or you can fold the bar down and let the foot go down like a little recliner type thing, I love that because it's actually better for my knees. If they have a slight bend, they don't stiffen up. Yes, I know, I'm old. But I took a severe impact to my knees, both knees, about 20 years ago. And I knew I was going to have problems when I got older. Anyway, different story. So the chair, you can flex the end of it, and the head part of it, that back section that goes up and down, it's not on a ratchet where it automatically locks itself into place if you move it. It's got, and I'll show you right here, it's got the little bars that you can slide in yourself. It won't ratchet, trust me, I tried it. But when you slide them in, it snaps in tight. So it's not easy for you to open it and change it. But you set it, pull it up to where you want it. You use your hands. You just push it in and lock the two sides. And there you go. It does not come with any kind of a pillow to it, which typically a beach lounge chair does not. But I don't really need one. It's pretty comfortable. And Levi tried to get on it, and I stopped him. And I probably should have let him at least step on it and sit on it, so you guys could see. But it's very sturdy, it's very strong, and I can't wait to start using it. All right, now, the next thing I got If you remember when I had gotten that pack of 11 solar lights, a couple of them were not working. So I asked for a reship. They sent me exactly two. Let me make sure there's nothing left in the bag. I had two that weren't working. They sent me two. There's the posts that connect everything. And I'm surprised that they didn't just send the heads, but they send the entire assembly. Oh my goodness. And there's the two spikes that go in. We'll get those put in there. I don't like little pieces laying around. And then they sent the two heads. Now, I don't know if these heads are charged or not. I just unpacked them. You saw that. But this is identical. They just sent me two because I said two was wrong and I sent them pictures. All right, so it is lit so that you can see when I have my hand over the top to make it dark. So that one we know is working. Yay. Let's check this one. And this one. Uh-oh. That might be uh-oh. I keep saying uh-oh because it keeps going off. Working. Perfect. So I can now replace these with the two that weren't working. It only took them like 3 or 4 days to decide to send a reship. And then the next thing I know, I'm getting a notification that my reship has been sent. But tracking the reship, you can't just click on it. There's no like orange tracking bar to figure out where it is. So I had to keep copying and pasting the reship ID number and putting that in to, yeah, it's a pain in the neck. So eventually I just said, you know what, forget it. It'll get here if it gets here. All right. This was a direct ship, and they split this off from other things that I ordered. So it came by itself. And instead of holding it, I'm going to show you. This was a direct ship. It was $4.78. This is the only electronic thing that I actually needed and found that did not come from local warehouse. And it's a charging cube with cord. It comes with the cable, and I'm hoping that this is at least a 3 to a 6 foot cord. I don't remember. It came in a whole bunch of different colors. So it's got two different type chargers. All right, the USB-C and the regular one for the end of the phone. And let's see if we can figure out how long this is without me actually breaking out the measuring tape. 6 feet. That's 3 feet. Because I know from finger to finger, from the tip of my middle finger to the middle of my chest is 3 feet. So this is a 6 foot cord. And it has the correct end here to go into the cube. Ooh, that's a tight fit. And then this end to go into my phone. And let's see. I always like to double check because even though they advertise that it's a USB Type-C, you never know. Yep, perfect fit. Quick click. Obviously, not plugged in. I can do that. Give me just a second. Reach down here. All right, let's see if it's going to work. Yep, charging. Okay. Might as well leave it on the charger and let it go. So that was a good deal. $4 and change, almost $5 for that cube and the cord. Kind of comparable to what I'm finding in local stores, but definitely higher priced than what I'm used to at TEMU. I'm used to getting something for that, like that for like $2, $3. So prices are high, and I'm finding out that that's unfortunate for those of us everywhere. If you're in a different country, have the prices gone up for you as well and not just the United States? I have a sneaking suspicion they're higher everywhere. All right, this was a 2-pack. This was direct ship. This was $12.28 for a 2-pack. Now, this is like a dark, it's a brownish red color, and this is like a mauve color. Look how this is shrink wrapped. Look how flat that is. That's how all clothes should be sent. All right. Now, this is the only clothing that I found that was not at local warehouse. They did have some at local warehouse, but this one, this particular one, was not. It was direct ship. And they had a lot of different color comment. Why can't I get this thing open this morning? Because it's too early and my fingers aren't going to work this morning. So it's a 2-pack. Anyway, as I started to say, this is the only house dress, lounge dress type of thing that I could find that was direct ship and not coming from local. I did find a lot of them from local, but this one, when I was scanning the page, all of a sudden, that's when they did have the green boxes for local. This one didn't have it. And it was actually a little bit cheaper. It was 12 and change as opposed to 14 or 15 and change plus the $2.99 shipping. So a couple of you had mentioned to me when I was telling you that I don't like having to go outside in my night clothes with Levi, simply because I don't have any privacy in my yard. It's all open, and my neighbors don't need to be exposed to this in the nightgown. We're not even going to go there. So I started looking for night dresses, and I found these, and these run big. I used their measurement chart and I ordered accordingly. But boy, when I tried this one on, which is why this bag is not shrink wrapped anymore, this runs huge. But this is the cutest little striped nightshirt. On the back, it's got the double adjustables to the strap. All right, so on both sides you can adjust it. It's kind of cute the way it looks like it's a split strap like that. It looks like that in the front. You get that nice split strap effect, like that, as opposed to a single strap. I like that. V-neck, not super long, but again, because you can adjust it. Feels really nice. It's not that weird silky material. It does feel very cottony, nice and flowy. On the bottom, it's got the good stitching, like we like. Look at that, right? And as you can see, it's got that white liner. So I'm happy about this, other than it runs big. And I'm talking like a size and a half, too. What's this thing? Seriously. Okay, you can tell just by looking at me, and I'm not stretching it. You can tell just by looking at me. It was like, when I tried it on, I'm like, oh my Lord. So I figured before I request a return and downsize this one by one size, I want to make sure, I'm going to wash one of them. I'm going to wash this one and see if it will shrink. It may or may not. Let's see. Using only the finest natural materials, our nightgowns are designed to let you dream beautifully and wake up refreshed. Made in China, of course. So I will wash it and I will see what happens. I'm going to leave this other one. That's like seriously compressed. I couldn't figure out what was in the package because I've never seen any kind of clothing of any type come from TEMU like this. Have you? You have something just like sucked down like that? Mr. Levi is pacing. I may have to take a quick break and let him out. Okay, and the last thing in this order, this was the penny deal. So a penny plus $2.99 shipping. I got this massive 2-gallon watering can. Sprinkler can. It's got a sprinkle nozzle on the end of it. The sprinkle nozzle comes out in case you want to use just the pour spout. You can take this end off, or you put the end back on and you can sprinkle. Now, yes, I have a hose. And I do have 2 hoses, one that goes one way around the house and one that goes the other way around the house. One that goes all the way out front to water the front and one that goes all the way out back to water the back. But once I don't need to keep using the hose, I can use this because the hose is the water that comes from the house and is on my water bill. I can use this to either fill from the spigot or unzip the top of the rain barrel, dip it in, and use this to water my veggies. So I don't have to drag the hose out. I don't have to use the water from the house. I can start using the water that's in the rain barrel. So for basically $3, this was the penny deal plus $2.99 shipping. So for $3, I got a 15, almost $16 2-gallon, and this is all one piece. So this is not going to snap off. You can see this is all molded. It's all one piece, right? I think that's a great deal. All right. So that's the little order, not a lot. It is taking a while. I do have, it's taking a while everywhere. My AliExpress order, only one out of like 6 or 7 items has come in so far. I still have a order with a bunch of items and some separate bigger items still coming from TEMU that haven't arrived, direct ship that obviously have not arrived. And it's been, well, I ordered them on the very first day. So it's been 10 days and only one of them has arrived in customs so far. Local warehouse, by the way, this came from local warehouse in one day. The very day after I ordered it, showed up in a box. I'm like, I'm not waiting for anything. When I opened it up, I'm like, wow! But guess where this came from? Target. It was in the Target box, and it had a little Target sticker on the inside of the box, one of those little labels that it was fulfilled by Target. So TEMU is using Walmart, Target, Amazon, and oh, there's one other, I can't think of the name of it. But they're using local stores, big box stores, Lowe's and Home Depot, obviously, to fulfill certain orders without even putting them in the warehouse. Just this one, all they did was pick the closest Target to my house, which happens to be maybe 10 miles away, and boom, next day I have my item. I'm okay with that because some of my other local stuff, I don't know if you remember, but I mentioned after 5 days and it no tracking updates, it's not moving, it hadn't been shipped yet, it hadn't even left the local warehouse, and I complained and I got $5 credits. It's happened again, so I've got another $12 and change in credits sitting there, $10 of which is from local warehouse delays in sending them out. They say, oh, you're going to get your item in 5 to 7 days. It hasn't even left the shop in 5 days. Some of you are telling me that you've also gone to TEMU and say, hey, it's been 5 days since I placed this order and it hasn't even been shipped out yet. And boom, you've gotten your $5 credits. Or if you're in the United Kingdom, I think they're giving you, what is it, £4 or something like that you're getting? Okay. Okay. Are you using the price match feature? Because I'm still doing that. And it's easier than you think to find them, especially knowing that some of these items are coming from places like Big Lots, Kmart's, Walmart's, etc. Those are the places that I look for these items, and that's where I'm finding a lot of them. Get your price match. Might not be a lot, but you know what? It's TEMU's policy. All right. Shall we get into what's been going on just around the corner? Are you ready? I ask you that every time. And you're like, yeah, right. Tell me anyway. Tell me what's going on. Okay. Big thunderstorms last night. Woke up this morning. Everything is still wet. I don't have to water this morning because I do go out and I water somewhere between around 8 or 9 o'clock every morning. I go out and I water where I've seeded for grass. I water the flower beds and I water the vegetable beds. So I get all my watering done in the morning, and then I go out at 7 o'clock at night and I give everything another light sprinkle. And I do not soak anything. I do not allow puddles to form where I'm watering because you're drowning your plants if you do that. I use either the shower feature for the grass, and I use the misting feature for the gardens, whether it be vegetable or flowers. Hold on. It's only like, it's not even 6:45 yet, guys. So bear with me. So that being said, let's look at the back at the grass. And I'll put up a picture of this is how it was a week ago. And then this is how it is now. So in just 1 week, you can see all of a sudden how predominant the grass is coming up. And it's clearly looking less dirt and more grass. So we're on week 2. Today is week 2 of the grass growth, and they say, that you should have mowable grass in 3 weeks. I don't hold much hope for that much more growth in another week, but you never know. I'm already seeing fair amount of grass in just 2 weeks, so anything's possible. We'll see what happens next Wednesday. But the back is growing great. I'm very happy with that. I also seeded just 1 week ago. I seeded some really extreme bare spots that were at the front of the house, and I put straw down on that. So this is all the different areas that I did out front. It's only been 1 week, but I am noticing that some of the grass that was already there but very sparse, excuse me, is now thickening up and starting to come in better. And I think the straw helps germinate that because it holds the moisture, generates a little heat. But I'm not really looking for any green grass at this point, any new grass, because it's only been a week. But I'm working on it. That's the second spot around the house. I don't know if I will do a third spot until after I come back from visiting with Mom, because I'm not going to be here to water it consistently, and I don't want to have to ask that of Levi's caregiver while I'm away. So the other thing is out back. I finally finished the soil grading, and you can see out back here now that it's a more gradual slope coming off the steps. The transition from the gravel is more graded. The whole back area back there is all graded. With the thunderstorms we had last night and the heavy downpour when I went out this morning, there were no channels, no washes. All right, so that tells me that I've got everything graded perfectly. I've got everything compacted down perfectly where the water just flows and it's not leaving these deep grooves or deep channels in the yard. So that will be ready for seed when I'm ready to seed it. I don't know when I'm going to be ready to seed it, but we'll find out. Okay. Before I get into the other plants, well, I do want to tell you the watermelons plants. I didn't take a picture, but I suppose I can run out and take a quick picture and pop one up here. The watermelon plants are growing like weeds. They have gone from this big to where the point they're still standing up. They haven't fallen over yet, because as everybody knows, watermelon eventually gets to a certain point and then it lays down and produces the melons. But I'm also finding other sprouts. There must have been some random seeds mixed in there, because I'm also finding other sprouts coming up in odd places, where I had spread out the soil from the pot that they were growing in. Now, they're a little too young for me to shift them around, so I'm just going to leave them where they are, plain and simple. Okay, and just let them grow. And if I need to cut back or trim anything, then I'll just cut back and trim it. But it's just like growing like crazy, and I'm so happy with that. The pepper plant is doing beautifully. I'm not going to bother putting a picture up here. The pepper plant is about a foot tall, and it's starting to flower. It's getting nice and strong. It's in the perfect spot because it gets morning sun, and then midday it's kind of shaded, and then the later afternoon when the sun is not super scorching, it gets the afternoon. So this thing is standing straight and tall. It's not even touching the sides of the cage I put around it to help support it. So I'm very happy with that. The tomato plants are now about a foot high each, and each of them has anywhere from 2 to 4 flowers on it already. We're going to have tomatoes, guys. I can't wait until I can take a picture and show you the first little tomato bud popping out, the actual tomato itself. So I'm really happy with that. The lilies of the valleys that I planted, I put a whole bunch of seeds in, and right now only one has sprouted. This poor little one, and it's very spindly and tired looking. But if you know lily of the valley, that's kind of how they start growing. They look like sprouts, literally, that you would put on your salad. They look like sprouts, but eventually they'll get bigger and thicker. And a lily of the valley can be a hanging plant. So I'm hoping that all the other seeds that I put into this little container will come up as well. And if not, I'll add more, right? But at least it's growing. So I know the seeds were not a total bust. Okay. The porch signs that I'd gotten a whole bunch more signs, as you saw in the previous video, just a couple videos ago. I finally got those up. So here's a little video to show you those porch signs. The wall is getting full. It's It's well, it's full in the center and going up towards the clock. I still have more down one side by the screen door, in other words, where you would exit the porch. I have more space on that side. And of course, I can go higher up and surround the clock, and I can go up over the door and surround the door. I got lots more, but I've gotten to the point now. I'm being very particular about the ones I get, and I can't get them direct ship anymore. I spent a couple of days in the evening, several hours each evening, looking through the signs, and everything is local. I can't find, and I'm not paying $2.99 for a sign that costs $1.49. So I'm out there on the internet. I'm searching for other places to find funny signs. And there was a company last year that I did a collaboration with that has the signs. And I've gone back and checked out their website. They're international, they're in Europe. But the cost of their signs and their fixed amount of shipping, I put an inquiry in. I sent an email to them asking, because I didn't see anything on the website, are they still shipping to the US? Are we going to be hit with import charges if we order from them? Something I got to check. But I am looking for other places to get signs from, as well as other places to get more things from. I do want to tell you about one place. I was watching one of my favorite haulers, Melissa, and she had experimented with this place called Gemlit, and Gem is spelled with a J. And Gemlit basically is all mystery boxes. So I'm checking into that. Basically, it's got icons like crazy of all different styles, boxes you can get from electronics to crazy stuff to horror stuff to Amazon to Shein to all sorts of different mystery boxes you can open. And when you click on a mystery box, you can scroll down and you can look and see what you might get as a mystery. You don't get a whole box, you get one item. So what this place does is, let's say you put $20 in your bank account. You use your PayPal and you put $20 in your account with Gemlit. They'll match it with another 20, so you'll have $40 to spend. When you go into one of these mystery boxes and you decide that you you look through the items and you say, gee, I want to try to win one of these. It's like the Wheel of Fortune. All right. You don't get to pick which one you want. You press a little button, the magic wheel spins, it lands on the prize. And then you can either decide, do you want that prize? Was it worth the cost? Because every little box has a cost attached to it. Is it worth that cost? Plus, I think it's $2.99 or $3.99 they charge for shipping to the US. I don't even know where they're located. But if you don't like it, you can get credits back and spin again. And you can do that a couple of times. And if you're still not happy with what you get, then you can go back out and make another selection. I'm still trying to figure it out because it looks like when you click to spin, it takes, in other words, it says, okay, you can open this box for $7.99 and you get a random gift at the spin of the wheel. So it'll take $7.99 out of your account, so to speak, and you get to spin. But when you want to spin again, you don't get the full $7.99 back. It dings you. So you have to be willing to spend a certain amount, which I'm not. Melissa had, I think, I don't know, she must have put like either 200 or probably I think she put like 250 in because she had almost $500 to start with and they match. So of course she's a larger channel. She's almost going to hit 100,000 hopefully this year. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed with The Cheap Chick, Melissa, by all means, she does all sorts of hauls, mystery boxes. She's a reseller, but you can see where she gets a lot of things from. And it also gives me a lot of ideas of things that I can look for that, oh, I could use that, or my viewers might be able to use that. She doesn't really do a lot of collaborations, but she does a lot of different things with different companies. And she's the one who found Gemlit. So let's help her if we can get her channel to 100,000. She doesn't need too many more. She's been at this for probably a good 10 years. And if anybody deserves it, she does. She's from Rhode Island. She's a Northeasterner like me and you and a lot of people that watch this channel. And a lot of people have told me that she and I are alike. Well, again, it's that cold climate we come from. Similar personalities. But anyway, check out Gemlit. Navigate around it a little bit. I would say check it out thoroughly before you put any money in your bank account, because to me, it's a gamble and I'm not sure that I want to risk losing money and not being able to get something that I can actually use, right? Because I'm not a reseller. So that's something for you guys to check on. All right, what else has been going around? The corner is... Let me finish filling you in on the plants. The hostas. Wow, I'm losing my voice because it's early. Excuse me. Okay. The hostas that I planted around the flower pot where the lamppost is, a solar lamppost, the hostas are now a good solid 2 inches tall. So they're growing great. I'm extremely happy with those. The regular canna that are growing next to my front staircase, and I'll show you a picture of this one. This was already established when I moved here. And oddly enough, it came up in just the right spot. I didn't even know it was there until it started growing. This thing is already 22 inches tall. Now, guys, this is not a 12-foot ruler. This is a 15-inch ruler. See? 12, 13, 14, 15. This is a 15-inch ruler that I have been using to measure things. I brought it in so that you could see it. Yeah, it's taking a beating down on that end. But anyway, 22 inches tall. It's growing unbelievably fast. It grew about 5 inches just in the past week. Now, this is a regular canna. This one is not a giant canna, but this one will get to be anywhere from 4 to 6 feet. And it's almost halfway there. And there's a whole bunch more of them growing in that same spot that are starting to catch up. So I should have a nice little border because it was bugging me that delivery guys, instead of walking down the driveway to the steps, they were shortcutting it across and walking through that flower bed. But now these things are going to be big enough that hopefully, they're not going to be able to walk through it. And if they do, they're going to get an earful from this New Yorker. I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to go New York on them. If anybody has ever had a New Yorker lose it on you, you know what I'm talking about. So those regular cannas are absolutely amazing. Now, for the giant canas. These are the ones I planted directly in front of the house in between the two azalea bushes. And the azalea bushes are going great. They are getting new blooms on them, and they're this bright fuchsia color. Absolutely love them. They've got a lot of new green growth on them. You can see the lighter green of all the new leaves coming. So they're doing beautiful. I basically let Mother Nature do its thing. I water and just leave them alone. I don't fuss. But since I put the mulch down around everything, everything is doing so much better. The one that I have been measuring, there's one canna in the front that I have given you measurements on a consistent basis. So in week 1, when I first planted it, it was a little tiny 1/4 inch thing. All right. It had grown to 2 inches in the first week. In the second week, after 2 weeks of growth, it had grown to 7.5 inches. And I'll put the pictures up. All right, here's the 7.5 inches that it was 1 week ago today. Today, it's now 15 inches tall. It has doubled in height. It has grown more than an inch a day from last Wednesday to when I took the picture at the end of the day yesterday, full 7 days. This thing went from 7.5 inches to 15 inches tall. I'm going to have to start using a measuring tape because the ruler's not going to be big enough anymore. So going forward, I'll be holding a measuring tape, a retractable measuring tape. Now I can see, and it's not just this one. There's another one next to it that's a good 12 inches. And then there's what I'm calling a triple shot. There's one on the other side that started with 1 shoot. Now it's got 3 shoots coming up, and those 3 shoots are all a foot tall. Wow. All right. I'm going to have this nice big clump. And as you can see, guys, look at these leaves opening up. This gorgeous reddish brown, dark, just beautiful, rich colored leaves opening. It's just, all my neighbors are noticing. I'll be sitting in the living room or sitting out on the porch, and people will walk by, and you can hear the footsteps on the road. And all of a sudden, I don't hear anything, and I'll turn and look, and they're just standing there staring at these things and watching them grow. So the offshoots, there's another one, and I'll put this picture up. It's got a little offshoot, little baby offshoot coming off to the side. I know the picture's a little fuzzy, but you can just see that's getting another sprout. The one in the center in the back still has not done anything, and I don't think it will. But I'm actually now kind of glad that it didn't, because that will give an open area for these things to be able to fully open up and fill out. And if I need to take one of the offshoots and separate it off and move it, do that, because I'm going to have a lot of shoots. So holy cow, guys, right? 3 weeks growth, and already one of them is at 15 inches. The others are at 12 inches tall. I'm blown away. More than someone, a couple of you had said that I should do like a little gardening segment and show everybody how to garden. I can't do that, guys. As much as I'd love to, if you're in a climate like northeastern New York, like the Albany area of New York, if you're in that kind of climate, I can tell you what grows there, what kind of soil you need to grow something there, how much you need to water it, etc. If you're here in South Central Alabama, where I am, you probably already know how to grow things. I can recommend, basically, if you have a particular plant, and if I've had experience with it, like the hostas, the trumpet vines, the azaleas, certain vegetables, how to grow them in bins, not in the ground. Yes, I can help you with that. Just ask. I'm happy to help you. But to do a regular gardening spot, I don't think I'd be able to do it justice, but I appreciate the compliment. I'm just thrilled that my green thumb is back and that I can get all these things growing so nicely with so little effort. Just a little bit of TLC every day, making sure that they get water when they need water and they get the right amount of water. And no, I'm not adding fertilizer and supplements. I just start with really good soil and let the plant do what it was born to do. Plants know. They either like your soil or they don't. It's that simple. Okay, more. Oh, I spent some time in the bathroom. And no, I did not get the bottom beadboard and rail done. That is the last thing I need to do. But I got the bathroom ready for it. I had a big tub, like a 35, 45 gallon Rubbermaid tub full of things that had to go in the bathroom, whether it was in the storage closet or in the vanity or up in the medicine cabinet. Well, guess what? That tub is now empty and out of my house. That tub was taking up space in my bedroom and I had to constantly move it around to get into certain parts of my dresser. It's gone. And now all of a sudden I have all this walking space in my bedroom. I'm like, oh, I am making progress. So that tub that's the to-do tub. I still have the living room to-do tub sitting over here, but that's getting better too. So the medicine cabinet went up on the wall. I finally got it up. They had sent me the wrong mounting pieces, the wrong mounting hardware. They had sent the hardware as if I was going to be mounting this thing to a concrete or brick wall. I didn't need masonry attachments. I didn't need masonry hardware where, you do a little pre-drilling and then you take a hammer and you drive it in and you anchor it. I didn't need masonry anchors. I needed regular sheetrock anchors. Well, fortunately, because I save everything, I had the right size screws, I had the right size washers, I had the right size, excuse me, don't have the right size throat today. I had the right size anchors to secure it in the wall. So I got it up, and let me tell you, it was not easy simply because that sucker is heavy. And at one point I lost a grip on it and slid down the wall and it left a little mark, which I'll touch up down the road. I'm not worried about it. But I got it up. I got it mounted to the wall. I got it filled. All right. And that took a lot of stuff. I'm amazed at how much stuff it held. I also put up the towel hook that I had shown you where I was going to put the hook, and then I had that little flower wire thing that I was a curtain tie back, and I turned it into a holder, and I put my, and yes, it's hanging. You'll see that it's hanging high in the wall. I'm going to show you a little video a second, so I'm just prefacing it. You'll see that it's hanging a little bit higher, but that's only because, well, two reasons. Number one, on the other side of that wall is my breaker panel, my electrical panel. And I only have about 1/8 of an inch beyond the sheetrock before it hit the back of that panel. So I had to go up high enough where I could get above that panel and get a secure hook into the wall. So that's number one. Number two is I have this nice little country wooden shelf that's going to be mounted up on the wall below it. So the things that I put on that shelf, I didn't want them getting knocked every time I tried to reach for the hand towel. All right, so there was a method to my madness. Yes, I know, I just heard you say I'm not just regular mad. Because I say that all the time. So I got that up on the wall. I did get a little bit of wall decor up. I don't know if I'm going to leave everything up, but I did get it up just to get it up. I can always, being that I have to do a little repair on the wall where the medicine cabinet slipped down, I'm not worried if I have to patch a little pinhole from a tiny nail or something that I put into the wall. So I did get other towel hooks, not towel hooks, other hooks put up. I got a robe hook put up. There was a gap between some framing and my hook, it looks like a faucet. It's identical to the hook I hung my towel on. It fit perfectly between those two frames, and it's the perfect spot for me to hang my robe. So when I step out of the shower, I can just reach around and there's my robe on that hook. I also got the film on the window. so that now I have complete privacy without having to hang anything helter-skelter up there. I've got that frosting on the window, and I think it came out beautiful. I love it. And I even put a little funny sign, and that's not in the video, but I'll put a picture up here. I even put a little funny sign on the back of the door, so when my guests close the bathroom door, that's the sign that pops out. So plenty of room to hang that thing on the door. I actually love it. But the bathroom is now ready for the beadboard and the rail. And then I can finish putting up the wall decor and those little metal flowers. Right now I just have little metal flowers sitting on the sink. But check out the video. It's starting to look like a bathroom. It's just the medicine cabinet finishes it. As you can see, there was not a lot of space between the mirror and the medicine cabinet, and I didn't want to crowd it by trying to put my towel there or even hanging the towel on the side of the medicine cabinet. So I put my hand towel in the best spot to have it. I also did not want the hand towel hanging off of one of the drawers, or on the front. And because of where I have my TP stand and my wastebasket tucked between the vanity and the toilet, I didn't obviously want to put a hand towel next to the toilet. So that's how I decided I was going to put everything. I do have other things that I have to finish the closet. I have to finish that closet, that storage in there. But I have a couple pieces of wood that have to go into the framing yet, and then I will custom make doors and do the shelves, paint inside the closet, and do whatever I have to do, because that's going to be a big storage area for me. That's going to be like a storage overflow. Bathroom things like the neck massager, the hand massager, the foot massagers, all those different kind of medicinal things that are big and bulky. The heating pad, the electric blanket, all that kind of stuff is going to go in there for storage. I'm making progress, guys. I'm doing the best. And you all keep asking me again about these bare walls. Get used to the bare walls because it may be a year down the road, and I'm going to tell you why. Remember, I live on just my Social Security and a little bit that I make from this YouTube channel. And I do want to thank those of you that have gone to buy me a coffee and you chose to do an automatic monthly donation. I don't have a Patreon. I never ask anybody for that. But Buy Me a Coffee does have an option where instead of doing like a one-time support for the channel of $5, you can do an ongoing monthly $5 a month to help support the channel. Anything that I get from Buy Me a Coffee goes automatically into product that I can present to you guys. I do have some product that I am going to be donating, and I have a lot of clothes that I'm going to be donating. I have a lot of things I'm going to be donating, and a lot of it came from TEMU. And when I started going through that and boxing that up, I realized I have to box up the send it to me Don't forget, send it to me. I have to box up the goodie box that's going to go out to you guys because you know what? Today is the 21st. You only have until the 24th. You have today and 3 more days. All right. Because on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 25th, is when I am going to uh, use the random comment picker, and we're going to find a winner for that goodie box. So guys, it's coming. It's almost here. You have till midnight, Saturday night, Central Standard Time, USA, to get your comment in that says send it to me. And make sure that it's not just send me or send to me. It's all 4 words or it's not going to come up in the comment picker. And you can leave up to 5 separate comments. I had a couple of you guys that did 6, and I had to remove that 6th comment. So double check and count. No cheating. I know you always want the box. I don't know where it's going. This box could go anywhere in the world. So what I decided to do in the next couple of days, I am going to revisit all the items that are in that goodie box. I'm going to do a video. And it's not going to be lengthy detail about each item. It's going to be bracelet, kitchen, bathroom. And I'm just going to show you the items. I'm not going to give you a big explanation. Not everything came from TEMU. Some came from TEMU. Some came from collaborations that I did that I received duplicates or extra items of things. But yeah, there's a lot. And you guys can count the items as they go up. If I think about it, I might number the items as I show them to you. I'll put the numbers up on the screen so you can see how many's out there. But look for that video. It's either going to be coming out Friday or Saturday. I'm hoping to be able to have it come out on Friday so that anybody that has not yet gone back and seen the original that I did when it was 5,000 subscribers, now we're just going to call this the Family Appreciation Giveaway. All right, because that's what it's all about. It's just me showing my appreciation to my family, my YouTube family, and all you guys that have come in. Oh, before I forget, yes, all my plans are made for Mama. Everything is arranged. Dinner with friends one night while we're there. Levi's caregiver, obviously, is all arranged. Levi is doing fine. Every once in a while, he has an off day, and I'm trying not to make a big issue out of it. And as you can see, he's resting quite comfortably where he is right now. He's just kind of like hanging out on his bed. He's really weird because he'll put his head on the shelf underneath that cabinet. I don't know why. He's just weird. But anyway, enough. Okay? So you all heard what's going on with TEMU. You all heard my opinions on things that are going on with TEMU. You got opinion, you got some facts, you got some information. You know now what I've been doing just around the corner. Yeah. Guys, big thumbs up. Share, right? Get this out into the universe. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, why not? If you subscribe in the next couple of days, you can get in on this goodie box too. Oh, you want to wait and see what's in the goodie box? All right, well, until I get the new video up, go back into my playlist and find the video that says 5,000 subscriber giveaway, right? Because I decided we're doing the giveaway early because that's just me. That's just how I do things. And if you have not yet gone to the Cheap Chick to check out Melissa, all right, then please go check out her channel. Let's help her get to 100,000. That is an amazing accomplishment. I won't be doing YouTube long enough to hit that, but Melissa's only in her 40s, so she's got plenty of time. Let's help her reach that goal. I would love to see her be rewarded for everything that she does, and just, she's amazing. And she does videos with her parents, and she's very blessed to still have both her parents. So that's it. Remember, stay hydrated. Above all else, please stay sweet. And I will be back in just a couple of days with the family appreciation giveaway video. Love you guys. Bye.